Hello guys, Nemox here, and today we are diving into What If Naruto Was an Uchiha Part 23. Before I start, remember to like and subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications so you get notified when the next video comes out. Also, I apologize for not uploading last week. This was because my brother and I had some problems with the massive change in our writing style. The next upload should be next week now that we have sorta adjusted to this new style. Now, without further ado, let's get started. After the final battle with Zabuza, Tazuna and his other bridge builder friends were finally able to build their bridge in peace. With Gato's threat taken care of, Team 7 didn't need to protect the bridge builder anymore. So, with this time, they went and buried Zabuza and Haku's bodies, leaving the executioner's blade behind as a sign of respect. When the bridge was finished, Tazuna decided to name the bridge the Great Uchiha Bridge in memory of Naruto and Sasuke's great service. 3 months later, after returning to the village. After returning from the deadly escort mission, Naruto and Sasuke continued their old training schedule, practicing and refining their known techniques in order to better use them in battle. They trained in the mornings, went on missions in the afternoons, and trained again in the evenings. Training was never tiring or tedious to them. As a team, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi also began accepting harder missions as their team's overall combat abilities improved. What used to be a 3-man carry team now, in some aspects, became an actual 4-member team. After the Land of Waves mission ended, Sakura learned some Earth-style techniques from Kakashi. Now that Sakura had some ninjutsu ability, she actually acted as a viable support figure during Team 7's later missions. At the end of the 3 months, when Naruto and Sasuke were about to head home after completing a mission, they noticed an obviously fake moving rock following behind them. Believing it was another one of Sakura and her abnormal obsessions for looking at them, Naruto and Sasuke quickly body flickered away. Trying to find Naruto and Sasuke again, Konohamaru and friends accidentally ran into Kankuro. This then led to the encounter of Naruto and Sasuke with Gaara after hearing Konohamaru scream. Similar to canon, both sides found interest in the other, especially Naruto with Gaara, because he could sense something off about him. After resolving the dispute, both sides parted ways. The next day, when Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura arrived for their daily team meetings, they were all given the option to attend the Chunin exams happening 7 days later. They were all warned of the possible dangers and given a day to figure out their answer. Obviously, all of them chose to attend. Unlike their canon counterpart, Team 7 here actually acts more as a team. Although Sakura is still a burden, she now has pros of her own, like her supportive Earth-style techniques, which is something Naruto and Sasuke don't specialize in. When Team 7 arrived at the exam building, they were confronted by Lee. Lee boasts about him being the Leaf's strongest genin, which entices Naruto and Sasuke's interest. Naruto accepts Lee's challenge, and they engage in a duel. At the beginning, Naruto was surprised by Lee's speed and is being suppressed, but soon, Naruto is able to catch up by relying on his honed battle instincts. Once the tables have been turned, Lee decides to use his forbidden technique to end the battle. Unfortunately, before Lee could fully unleash the technique, he is stopped by Guy-sensei. Before leaving, Lee tells Naruto and Sasuke that he wasn't using his full strength, and that he had lied about being the strongest Leaf Genin. His teammate Neji is actually the strongest Leaf Genin. As Lee's figure fades away, Naruto smirks, because he just found another interesting opponent. After the weird encounter with Lee and his overly enthusiastic sensei, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura leave the room and make their way to where the first exam would commence. Once they open the door, they are immediately introduced to their competitors, all older, seemingly stronger, and more experienced than them. This scene scares Sakura a bit, while only making Naruto and Sasuke even more excited. Team 7 then walks around and meets up with their old classmates, Team 8 and Team 10. After some small talk between old classmates, the group meets a new associate from the Leaf Village called Kabuto. Kabuto, like canon, then explains his abilities and introduces the Rookie 9 to some of the other competitors, like the Sand Ninjas. Before long, the exam proctors enter the room. Once inside, the leader of the group explained how the test would go. 10 questions with multiple ninjas watching. When caught cheating, you would get a strike. 5 strikes and your team is disqualified. Naruto and Sasuke, after a few minutes, quickly catch onto the exam's true purpose. Although they on their own could answer a few of the starting problems, In order to get full marks, Naruto and Sasuke still relied on their Sharingan. When cheating off others' sheets, Naruto noticed that Hinata made her paper especially noticeable to him, to which Naruto didn't think too much and continued his copying. When many of the ninjas were eliminated, the people holding the exam went on to explain the 10th question. They were given a choice to opt out and still hold a chance to become a Chunin in the future, or stay and risk never being promoted if they answered the question wrong. Given the choice, a few teams decided to leave, while most stayed. When everyone wanted to leave left, the proctor revealed that they all completed the test. After explaining the true reason behind the test and passing the present students, everyone is given directions for the second part of the exam, which is happening the next day. The next day, teams who passed the first exam met outside the Forest of Death. There, Anko explained how this exam would work before providing each team with one scroll, either the Heaven Scroll or the Earth Scroll. After explaining, each team was scattered throughout the forest. "Well, 7 days until we have the final few," Anko says, smiling as she sits down and begins eating her dumplings. Few days later. During these few days, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura made a few rules while rushing towards the center of the forest. First, no member shall be more than 10 meters away from the main group. Second, one person must always be awake at all times. And third, only stay in areas with visual cover or a place with multiple ways to escape. Along their way, Team 7 encountered a few roadblocks like wild animals, which were easily dealt with. Presently, we find Team 7 resting at a clean area with a few traps laid around to prevent intruders. After only a few minutes of resting, an extremely strong gust of wind comes through, uprooting the trees around them and separating Naruto from Sasuke and Sakura. Waking up a couple of minutes later, Naruto finds himself inside a squishy and wet environment. Quickly realizing that he is most likely inside a large mouth or something similar, he immediately acts on a plan to get out. Naruto, inside the animal, fires jutsu after jutsu until he rips himself out of the huge snake. Once out, Naruto does a short clean of his body before making clones scattering in different directions to look for his teammates. With Sasuke and Sakura. After regaining footing from the strong gust of wind, Sasuke and Sakura start covering up the small cuts on their bodies. Hidden behind a large tree trunk left by the devastation, Sasuke and Sakura begin looking for their attacker. Out of the corner of their vision, the ninja who cast the jutsu enter the area. The ninja emit a terrifying presence that causes Sasuke and Sakura to hallucinate about their own demise. Snapping out of it after stabbing himself in the leg, Sasuke grabs Sakura and runs, knowing that they are no match for this ninja. But no matter how quickly they move, the ninja just keeps closing the distance. Sakura, remembering her own promise to herself to not be a burden, bites the end of her tongue and breaks out of her own hallucinations. Regaining control of her body, Sakura breaks out of Sasuke's grip and starts forming hand signs. Concentrating most of her chakra, Sakura is able to cover the ninja in stone. But before Sakura could even rejoice about landing her technique, the ninja breaks out of their stone enclosure and charges towards Sasuke and Sakura once again. Realizing that all their resistance was futile, Sasuke throws his scroll in another direction as he creates a smoke screen to escape, expecting the ninja to go after the scroll instead of them. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned, as when Sasuke and Sakura stopped to rest after running non-stop for a few minutes, the ninja appeared once again before them, holding the Heaven Scroll Sasuke has thrown. Dropping the scroll onto the ground, the ninja said how the attempt with the scroll was futile, as the scroll in the puff of smoke reverts back into a kunai. Then, before either side could do anything, Naruto's voice rings out saying, "Great Fire Tornado!" A massive fire tornado then surrounds Orochimaru, completely encasing him in a sea of flames. When the sea of flames dispersed, Team 7 saw the ninja's skin peeling off, revealing a pale-skinned, long-haired, snake-eyed freak of a human, sending shivers down everyone's spine. With frightening speed, the ninja struck Naruto in the abdomen with all 5 fingers concentrated with different signs of chakra. Once he got hit, Naruto fell onto the ground, fighting the unconsciousness rolling in. As Naruto stays in a half-unconscious state, he sees glimpses of what's happening with Sakura and Sasuke. Naruto, witnessing Sasuke fighting the snake-eyed freak, getting more injured as the fight goes on. He then hears Sasuke screaming in pain as the man with an extended neck bites Sasuke's neck area, resulting in Sasuke falling limp. A boiling rage emerges within Naruto, but because of the five-pronged seal, Naruto is unable to control his distorted chakra. A despair and unwillingness drapes down on Naruto's mind. He sees the snake-eyed man approaching him. Struggling as best as he could, Naruto tries to regain control of his limp body, but ultimately, he fails. When the snake-eyed man was within a few meters of him, Naruto's eyes started burning hotter and hotter. Without realizing it, Naruto awakens his two Tomoe Sharingan, which brings a wicked smile to the snake-eyed man's face. The last thing Naruto saw was the man's head extending towards him and biting him on the neck as well. And this, guys, is where I'm going to end What If Naruto Was an Uchiha Part 23. I apologize for the short video. This is mostly because of the change in writing style. Before you go, remember to like and subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications so you get notified when the next video comes out. This will be the end of this part, so until next time, see ya!